Castlevania. Castlevania is epic. Without a doubt, hands down, it is one of my favorite games of all time. The music is legendary. The control is spot on. The fact that the whip has a little bit of delay, the way that he walks, the way he jumps and can't control himself in midair, he's not Mario. You feel a little more human, a little more bound by the rules, by the laws of physics, if you will, and that creates an emotion of tense fear, and that was impossible to do in Nintendo's day and age. Think back about playing Castlevania. You literally felt your heart tighten. Your pulse would go up. You would have heavy breathing. You'd be whipping. You'd be going through a level. It was tough. You had to time and accurately plan your entire walk through the stage. There were pitfalls and all kinds of crazy crap that were in your way. Everything from spikes and things like that. But one of the biggest draws for me later on that made me appreciate this game even more after I grew up was the bad guys, the monsters, the enemies. As I grew up at around age 20, had become a fan of the Universal monster movies. And because of this, it blew me away later on when I went back to this when I was older, because there's the creature from the Black Lagoon, there's Medusa, there's skeletons that remind me of Jason and the Argonauts, there's a giant Frankenstein monster in one level, you fight a gigantic bat, you're in castles and murky areas and crazy old dungeons, things like that. There's ghostly armors. This game is severe. It never stops. There's references all over the game to different things. Even the Hammer Dracula castle standing in the background of this level, which I'm real glad I got that far to be able to show this to you, because I haven't got to play the game in a while. And I'm going to tell you something else. There is nothing in this game more thrilling. In fact, in gaming period, I don't think I've been as excited as when I fight two mummies at the same time. That's two bosses in Castlevania, where one boss is hard enough, and I not only beat them, I beat them with a speck of life, and with the short whip, and with no weapon ammo left. That is one of the greatest feelings you could ever have in a video game. Take that, you fucking mummy! That's Castlevania. Castlevania. I was introduced to this game from my dad, and he was actually pretty good at it. I think he beat it, if I'm not mistaken, and that's quite the feat if you guys don't know. It is a tough game, but I did not keep that version of the game. I was pretty bad about these games in general. All of this that's behind me, that took a really long time for me to collect again, because I was the kind of person that sold my games. As soon as I finished off a game and I thought, well, that was fun, I would sell the game to go get something else, and my collection was never more than like 2 shoeboxes. And then I got into a collecting arc, kind of, I guess, where I got a whole bunch of games, and then I sold like all of them almost overnight. Like, I got like a whole bookshelf of games, and I was super proud, and I was like, that's right, I'm a big collector. And then I sold the entire thing so that I could invest into an Xbox and a couple games there. And I remember later on, after I'd done that, I remember thinking back and being like, ugh, I wish I hadn't done that. Because after I played like the 4 or 5 games that I had, I remember sitting around and being like, GameStop kind of screwed me. And to be fair, GameStop, is kind of like a pawn shop. I mean, you give them your game, they give you 30% of what it's worth, and then they sell it for 100% of what it's worth. That's just the way it is. The only difference is you can't haggle with them. You can't go in and be like, come on, let me give you 20 bucks. Like, so, I don't know, that's just the way it is. But, thankfully, my girlfriend that I'm with now saw that I do the show and whatnot, and she was interested, and she asked me what kind of games I was hoping to put back on my shelf as I've been rebuilding my shelf. And I was like, you know, I would like the Castlevania series. So she's been cool enough. This is the first one she got me, and she's looking for the other ones currently. So that was pretty cool of her, and that's the reason that I'm able to relive Castlevania here with you today. Thank you, honestly.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.